Howdy ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another War Thunder video brought to you by Pilot Draz. We are on Clipped Coast, a rather nice map. It's one of my favourite maps out of all the maps in the game. We are fighting with the Japanese in an arcade round, and I am currently in my Hayabusa. It is fully maxed out, so we have 2x 12.7mm Ho 103 machine guns, which has 500 rounds. That's not actually that many, but it does seem to do quite a lot of damage if you actually hit people. But I don't know why, but I seem to have trouble using the Japanese guns. I don't know whether it's the convergence I use or the fact that I'm just shit. You'll probably see from me flying around here when I first engage a target that I just can't aim for toffee. I could be shooting at a battleship from point blank range and I'd probably still be missing. I'm trying to change up the way I'm playing. Recently I just go for anything and everything in the air, not do any defending or ground targets. As you can see there, I'm just not hitting Mr. Phoenix 1948 and his MiG-3. So yeah, I'm gonna try and go for these this boat area over here where our ships are, and try and protect it from anything that's going to attack them. So this guy here was going over towards it, I've taken him out, and that stopped him from destroying any of the cargo ships and the battleships or cruisers or whatever they are. Now we've got Mr. Hunter Tiger in his TBF. I'm not going to allow him to start taking them out, so we're going to fly over and try and catch him. We've got a lag 3 I think behind us that's actually got more speed than us and is going to get to him first. I think that's because he's come out of a dive, whereas we've just gone straight at him, but we're just going to keep going anyway and see what we can do. Looks like he's trying to get away from all the fire coming from the ships, which is quite good. As you can see there, the lag 3, Mr. Gotson's Dogger or whatever his name is. I've got full web. I'm finding that due to playing some realistic battles recently, I'm continuously weapon, and I end up spluttering out the engine, and I go down to not being able to wep at all because I've overdone the engine. It's kind of really strange to not be able to wep as long as you can. He's on fire. I'm going to shoot him, not because I'm trying to kill steal, but simply because the amount of times I see planes on fire, especially in arcade, and they just keep flying and then they shoot people, that he could have got to the actual aircraft and done some bombing. So I thought I'd just put in a few shots just to make sure that he was going to go down. And now me and Mr. Lag 3 are going to make our way back. There's no other aircraft around here at the moment, and although I do want to defend this area, I'm not just going to fly here if there's nothing here, so I am going to go more towards the centre and see if I can assist the team. Looks like we are just about ahead on points at the moment. Just reloaded at 1,200 meters and still climbing, and we're just going to have a nice little jaunt over, see if we can find anyone, see if there's anyone that needs some assistance. So looks like there's a bit of battle going on over there. Nothing, just keep looking around. There's another thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be more spatially aware of what's going on, not just in front of me but behind me, to the sides. Trying to use my radar a little bit more. I'm still not very good at it, but more practice and we will get there. So we'll go into the clouds, see if we can lose ourselves a little bit. Not that anyone's paying us any mind at the moment, because the BF 110 down there is more interested in our Hurricane, and I just saw off screen Mr. Hunter Tiger coming back in at a P400, but we don't need to worry about him for the moment. So I've got some height. I'm going to give this guy a bit of assistance. I dropped all my throttle down to 0. I'm still not sure whether that's the best way to go, but I don't want to gain too much speed. And then we'll put in some shots completely off target and not land a single hit. That was extremely poor fighting, but because I'm in the Hayabusa, it is quite manoeuvrable. So we're just going to pitch up a little bit, come in for some more shots, still miss again. It's something I need to really work on, my aim. And got a critical hit, but in arcade critical hits pretty much mean jack shit. You can get 2 or 3 critical hits on people and not do anything, but I do manage to kill him. He must have actually crashed, so I at least did some damage. You'll see here I've got an F6F coming up on my tail. For whatever reason I think it's a good idea to pull up, and I get attacked by Lag 38 and he literally takes me out. I realise now that I probably should have pulled off to the side or tried to go underneath, although I think if I'd have tried to do a split S and then go under, I may have actually have just face planted into the sea. But going directly up so he's got a bigger target to shoot at is definitely not the way you want to go. We're now going to go into my A6M2N. I've got no weapon upgrades for it, so it's just bog standard. This plane comes with two 7.7mm Type 97 machine guns with 1,000 rounds, and it also has a 20mm Type 99 Mark 1 two times cannons, not machine guns rather, and you get 120 of those. I'm in two minds as to whether I'm going to allocate another button on my mouse so I can separate the machine guns from the cannons. I see a lot of people on YouTube kind of have separate buttons for it, so that they don't always unleash all their cannons and then just have 0.77mm machine guns. So I may do that. I've got a button on the side of my mouse which is empty at the moment, which I was using for TeamSpeak, but it's too awkward to use the button to talk on TeamSpeak, so I just have an open mic now. Anyway, this, as you can see, this is a float plane, or a hydroplane as they're more scientifically known, I believe. It's a battle rank of 2.7, and although it looks like it's kind of like really cumbersome and it's got like a shit hanging off the bottom of it, it's actually quite nimble. I was quite surprised when I first started flying it. I was expecting it to, you know, be like a not quite a boat fighter kind of bit when it's turning, but I didn't think it was going to be as easy to move around as it. You can see I can just easily pitch over. I'm going to take out this Catalina, or at least attempt to take it out. I don't know where I should be firing. I don't know whether I should be taking out the wings, because it looks like the engines are quite close to the fuselage, so I'm just going to keep firing down at it and hopefully get some critical hits. I've knocked out his gunner, so that's good, but I'm completely out of ammo because I've jammed my guns. It's a very common occurrence with me. I've noticed it a lot more when I've been playing my BF-109E1. We took out the Catalina, so that's quite good. I don't know if it's that the guns on that aircraft in particular, but I seem to jam them really fast. So I'm either holding down for too long and they're jamming, or I just need to put more points into weapon maintenance on my crew, because I haven't actually put that many in any of my crews regardless of what team I'm actually playing on. So now we're going for the JU-87D5, trying to get in some shots. I'm back over here trying to defend this area like I said I was going to do at the beginning. As I saw there was a few aircraft over here, I thought I'd better come back and do something, as there's no one else over with me, and if we just leave them to it, we would lose, because they would manage to take out all our ships, and the scores are quite tight. Once again, I've jammed my guns. If anyone watching this has got some tips on how not to do it, if it's just a tap fire, then you know, if you could tell me that, that's good, because I seem to try and do some tap fire rather than consistent holding down, although it looks like at the moment I'm just holding down my ammo, holding down the guns just to try and take him out. Yeah, jamming my guns. See, once again my guns are jammed. I've still got 777 rounds in my machine gun, but I can't use it until it's unjammed. While fighting the JU-87 here, I realised I was making a mistake of just flying behind, and his gunner was getting a few shots in, but the gunner's unconscious now, so I don't really need to move. And I have actually done enough damage to him, I think, to cause him to crash into the sea, but I carried on following him because sometimes planes will just dive and they won't actually crash, they'll just dive and then skim along the ground to try and throw you off. So I've taken him out. Now for me to carry on and see if we can find someone else to fight. So we've got another TBF over here, and I believe there's an FBD, there he is, an FBD3. I actually don't like these because I've flown these myself, and I know that they can do some quite serious damage in the wrong hands. So I don't really like going up against those, especially from behind, because they've got a rear gunner and they've got an underbelly gunner at the back as well. So they can be quite a pain in the arse to take out. And I'm not sure where he's gone. Did he crash? Oh no, I think he's below me now, or just underneath me. Oh no, yeah, I think he crashed. I think he just actually dive bombed, and this is another one. I hadn't actually registered first time watching this that there were two of them. I thought it was the same one. Obviously paying attention is always a good idea. So we've got the TBF now and the SBD3. We've got to try and take out both of these, or at least one of them, to try and throw off their ability to take down our tickets by killing our ships. Now, I had a sneaking suspicion that this Dauntless was going to come and try and sneak up behind me, and it looks like he's trying to here. So as he's coming up, I go to do some evasive maneuvers, if I can work out how to unzoom myself. So I'm pulling down, I'm going to go after this TBF, seeing where the Dauntless is. He looks like he's turned and not bothered with me. So as that's the case, I'm going to shoot at this TBF. Need to reduce my speed because I'm going down at a great pace of knots and hadn't actually reduced my speed. Managed to take out the TBF. Wondering now where the SBD is. He's over there, so we're going to try and go for the Dauntless. So he's not far away, but he is pulling away. He's got more speed than we do as he's going in for a little bit of a dive, and we've just been in a little bit of a dogfight. We've got a BF-110, and he shoots us and takes us out pretty much in one shot. I remember when I first got into War Thunder, these were pretty terrible, but now they've had a bit of a buff, it seems, and just completely annihilated me. It probably doesn't help that the Japanese aircraft are literally fuel tanks with wings. There's nothing inside them, no armour at all. Now we're going to go for the A5M4, which comes equipped with two 7.7mm Type 89 machine guns with 1,000 rounds. It's a battle rank of 1.7. I remember when I first started taking this out, I was pressing G to try and get the landing gear up, and then I realised that it actually doesn't raise up. And I didn't actually get a chance to use this one as we win just by a few margin of points. I'd like to think that my assistance in stopping them taking out the boats actually helped. We came second with 5 kills and I think 2 deaths, which isn't exactly a great score, but it's good enough. So we managed to finish with 5 kills. We earned 11,673 lions, and we got 4,402 modification research points and 4,940 vehicle research points. This is with a premium account. I can't remember if this was a ×2 for the day or whether it wasn't. It possibly could be, so you can probably take that down to half if that is the case. But that is me playing a ground strike mission on Clipped Coasts. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, enjoy yourself.